I grew up in a small farming town in the middle of Washington State. This is my graduating class. It's about 50 people strong. So you hear what I mean when I say small. I'm gonna let everyone take a look. There's no way I could blow that up big enough for the whole room to really get a good look. When I was a kid, I spent a lot of time thinking about boys. I spent a lot of time thinking about the right color lip gloss to wear. And I spent a lot of time thinking about whether I wanted to be a famous pop star or a famous TV personality. I didn't really think much about the lived experience of some of my classmates. As you look at this photo, you can see that it's a fairly white crowd, but there's also a strong Hispanic Latino community as well. That's because this is a farming town, and in farming communities, you generally have white farm workers and brown farm laborers. I didn't think about what it was like for my classmates to hear us making jokes about people making dangerous crossings of a river in order to have a better life. And I regret that now. It was callous, and I didn't know any better. And I didn't know any better because my leaders and my teachers and my parents weren't talking to me about these things. They weren't talking to me about racial and cultural and ethnic discrimination and discrepancies. And we need to have those conversations with our kids, no matter how scary it is, so that they can make sense of the world around them. I believe that the strongest reason these conversations don't happen is not because the adults around us are racist and don't want to teach us these things. I think it's because we have an inherent belief that children are born pure and natural with no racist tendencies. And it's true, children are not racist, but in the book Nurture Shock, there's an excellent chapter on talking to your children about race. And one of the points that they make is that children love to categorize. And children will naturally categorize the way a person looks to try to understand who is like them so they will know who will like them. My daughter's favorite Disney princess is Elsa because Elsa has white hair, just like her. If my daughter had dark skin and dark hair, there's a high chance that she might like a different Disney princess. This is very natural. And we need to talk our kids through these natural inclinations so that they start to learn how to expand their categories to include everyone. When we were driving home from summer camp a few weeks ago, my son looked in the car next to us and said, "That black girl, she looks like a monkey." I was so glad that we were alone because these conversations are tricky. I'm white. I don't know anything about what it's like to grow up with a different skin color. But that doesn't mean that I don't seize every opportunity I can to talk about race and cultural differences. I told him that I know he is kind and that I know he wants to be friends with everyone. And then I told him that there are some people, mean people, who say that people with dark skin look like monkeys, and that they say this to hurt them. And so I said, sometimes we have these thoughts in our mind, but we don't say them out loud because it might hurt someone else. And when these openings present themselves, I seize on them. They can't be forced. If you've ever been around a 6-year-old, you know that if they don't want to talk about something, if they don't want to engage in something, if they don't want to eat something, they're not going to do it. But when he gives me the opening, I'm right there. And I know I'm going to make mistakes, but it's better to have the conversation than to pretend like it's not our responsibility to make a difference. Another way that I try to help my kids expand the way they see the world is by enrolling them in school systems where they're not going to be completely surrounded by kids who are exactly like them. This is my daughter on the left, And these 3 children, you can see 2 more behind, are part of her preschool. It's the most magnificent preschool I've ever seen. I love dropping her off there every day because it is a beautiful, warm, caring place. And they achieve this diversity through a unique model. 1/3 of the students pay no tuition, 1/3 of the students pay half tuition, and 1/3 of the students pay full tuition. Full tuition students subsidize the education of the children who are paying no tuition. This creates a wonderful environment of cultural, social, ethnic, and socioeconomic diversity. My daughter cannot form a clique of Elsa lookalikes at her school because she does not have the opportunity to do so. It is thus natural for her to walk onto a playground and look for children that look like her friends that she sees every day. She still categorizes. Lately, she's been saying that she only wants to play with girls who wear dresses. I do not like this, and we are working on it. But it makes me happy that when I go to school and see her surrounded by a variety of children. And I know that when they have conversations, even in their 3-year-old talk, that they're expanding each other's viewpoints. And she comes home and she has conversations that are different than she would have if she was in a school with everyone just like her. It's hard, and you're going to make mistakes. And probably, if you're a white person like me, having conversations about what it's like to be a different skin color, there are things that you're going to say that I'm going to say that are wrong. I'm going to get it wrong, but it's better to try. Teach empathy, teach kindness, teach open-mindedness, and we'll make progress toward where we want to be, and we'll see all little girls and little boys having friend groups that look just like this. Thank you.